Welcome back to the wonderful Christmas Eve episode. As you can see, I'm as festive as I can ever be. I don't have a Santa hat though, which I kind of wish I did because I think that would be fun. That being said, I hope you guys had a wonderful day yesterday watching the probably worst games I've seen in a while. Granted, high scoring in the Steelers game, and Buffalo did what Buffalo needed to do to win that game, but it was barely did Buffalo do what they needed to do. Fantasy wise, George Pickens went off, had a day of his career. I think best game for him. 4 receptions, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. So if you were starting him this week, you're looking solid. Josh Allen also 2 rushing touchdowns, looking good. Easton Stick also didn't have a bad day. 24-22 Buffalo. So we called that one. We knew it wasn't going to be too big of a spread, but I mean, it is what it is. Teams rally around coach firing, so I just didn't think they have a chance to win without their starting quarterback personally. Buffalo also, or not Buffalo, Cincy dropped the ball. This is why these guys are called backup quarterbacks. You have boom and bust games, and you have Jake Browning, who had a bust game against probably one of the better defenses in the NFL. And then you had a boom game out of Mason Rudolph, probably increasing the tensions in the Steelers locker room. I won't get too much into these games just because it is what it is. I will give you guys this heads up here for, I did it again. I don't remember where I put my button. Always. Oh, here it is, news. So I'll give you the heads up here for the draft, or not the draft, for the playoff update bracket. Because Buffalo won and Cincy lost, Buffalo now slides into the 6th seed. So there's your updated playoff bracket as of now.
And they have a 77% chance to make the playoffs thanks to the Bungles.
Hey, who that?
I'm back.
All right, Wheels is back. Obviously, he's learned how to eat again. That's a positive. Funny inside joke. The only thing he hasn't learned is color coordination. If you can't tell, you might see some flickering on him today, or he see through him because this gentleman is wearing all green.
I'm glowing.
Literally all green. So this is going to be trippy today if you're watching any of this show, because he didn't bring another shirt.
I have all green Christmas sweaters, okay?
He needs to update his cabinet. That being said, you have me, your host of the show, KJAM. It's going to be a fairly quick show today because obviously it's Christmas Eve. I want people to be with their families. I want you to go to church and do things that bring the family and friends around and your communities, get more involved with you guys. Football's 3rd or 4th on my list today.
Agreed.
Am I going to watch it? 100%. But it's not. It's going to be in the background most of the day. I'll probably go back and have to watch a lot of these games, and that's probably the way it's going to happen. That being said, we're going to get right into it today, Wheels. Is there anything in news that you wanted to talk about before we get into the show?
Trevor Lawrence is playing. We saw that. I thought he was not. You said he was. He is playing. Michael Pittman Jr. is back into the concussion protocol after landing in Atlanta and having concussion-like symptoms after getting off the team plane. So if you have him in your lineup, take him out. He is definitely not playing today.
Definitely?
Definitely. Without a doubt, he's not playing.
Just making sure, definitely.
Yeah,
T-Law is still technically in concussion protocol.
Pay attention to your lineup.
Pay attention to T-Law today.
From everything that we have available to us.
Yeah, I would pay attention for sure.
Pittman is going to be out. He's back in concussion protocol, which I find weird. I've never seen that.
It makes sense.
I'm happy. I'm not happy, but I'm happy they're taking more precaution with it. Obviously, after the Hotua situation last year, they got a lot of heat for that. But in the recent years, I haven't seen players come out and then go back into it, which, I mean, that was a big hit by DeMarcus Casey.
I mean, even look at Brock Purdy this year. He didn't go out of it, but he had concussion-like symptoms. They didn't pull him from the game, and then for the next 3 weeks, he had concussion-like symptoms. And then
again, C.J. Stroud is out. They ruled him out, I believe, on Friday, and we've said on the show, I've told my brothers and some other guys, I said, CJ's not playing. I said, with rookies this year, on average, with concussions, they miss about 2 weeks, 2 games, and this is his second game that he will miss. So The NFL is definitely taking a step up and taking concussions seriously with the whole CTE thing still going on. And then, like I said, going back to that Tua situation last year, they got a lot of heat from. So the NFLPA and the NFL is taking a big step forward into player safety, which I am happy about. I think this will affect his Offensive Rookie of the Year award. I hope it doesn't. Just depends if Puka goes off again.
So we do have in news today, sources from, this is Ian Rapp. His sources say the Bucs and quarterback Baker Mayfield may have a mutual interest for him to be back in 2024. So it looks like with the way Baker's been playing that there is going to be a re-signing and that the Bucs are not going to move on from Baker the next year.
Call me crazy.
You're crazy!
I signed him to a 3-year, $45 million contract.
Oh, that's crazy. That's actually cheap.
I think Baker would take it.
That's cheap. I don't think he would. That's cheap. He's making probably, if it franchise tag is like 30 million.
I mean,
30, 40 million. I'd tag me.
What do you think? 22 mil? He's worth?
I think he's 3-year, 100 million.
20.
You have to look at the Garoppolo.
I don't know.
You got to look at the Garoppolo, the Derek Carr, the Daniel Jones contracts.
No,
those guys are all making 40 million a year.
I know that, but this is what I'm saying. I said Mike Evans still needs to be paid. If Baker is smart, you keep Mike Evans. He's been Baker and Evans have been bread and butter for Buccaneers, have they not?
So then you take $35 million a year. That's a $5 million decrease in your contract.
But the thing is
but that's still $100 million contract.
I know, but I'm devil's advocate here. Do you want to sign Mike Williams? He's 30. Obviously, he doesn't look like he's slowing down.
I let Mike Williams retire in Tampa Bay if I am Tampa Bay. I said I let Mike Evans retire in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. 3-year contract. 5-year contract. What are you thinking? What are you thinking money wise for him?
Mike Evans.
You got to keep both them.
Mike Evans is probably 340.
Okay. And then another news. I see it over there. Jim Harbaugh is the favorite right now to be the Chargers head coach. There's a lot of
that wasn't the news. So Rapp said as the NFL's coaching carousel is about to go spinning, Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh is weighing a huge decision whether to accept a massive new contract that includes a no NFL clause for 1 year.
I don't think he takes it. I think he comes back. Like I said, I said this 3 weeks ago.
You think he goes back to Michigan?
No, I think he comes with the Chargers.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to get into that until the offseason. Alexander Mattison is expected to play today against Detroit.
I don't start him.
But he's not 100.
I start Ty Chandler. That whole running game looked completely different with Ty Chandler back there. It looked more, just aggressive, speedier. He can catch out of the backfield. I think he's just a more aggressive runner. With Madison being questionable, he's going to be on a snap count. You're going to give the hot hand, right? And that's what Kevin O'Connell said, is they're gonna essentially play who's ever playing better, which you should do. So it's kind of an oxymoron. But if I am a Madison owner and I have Chandler, I would start Chandler over Madison, in my opinion.
And that's actually what kind of Pelissaro says too. He says expect Minnesota to keep riding Ty Chandler.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get into the game slates, and since we already are into that game slate, let's talk about Detroit and Minnesota. How do we see this game going? And by the way, here's your duties. This is not my duties.
My duties.
Welcome back.
Okay, so you got the 10-4 Detroit Lions at the 7-6.
Before we get into this, let's get into the covers, okay, and then we'll let you go into injuries. I know you got to pull those up. So Detroit going into Minnesota. Detroit is favored by 3, and based on the stats we've seen recently, it's 1.5 for home field advantage. So they're really only favored by 1.5. The over/under on this game is 47.5. Now, this is their first matchup of the year, and then they play again in 2 weeks. This is in Minnesota. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I'm assuming if it's like here at all, it's probably going to be kind of crappy and maybe like a moist air, maybe moist. But we did just speak. Alexander Mattison is going to be playing, but the question is, what's that snap count going to look like? Because he's not 100. You still have a healthy Jahmyr Gibbs out there on Detroit's side. You have a healthy Montgomery coming back, and he's looking pretty good. Sam Laporta. Everybody actually on Detroit's offense, I'm pretty sure, is healthy at this point because they got Palmer back. They got... Is it Palmer or Reynolds? I do this every time.
Joshua Palmer.
Okay, they got Palmer.
The Jet. Who? Wait.
Detroit.
No. Reynolds.
Okay, so they got Reynolds back 2 weeks ago. You've got Amon-Ra out there. You're seeing a little bit more Jameson Williams. You're seeing a little bit of Chase Claypool now on that field. Obviously, you have Sam Laporta and then Jared Goff. I'm going to be honest with you. I think this week, injuries-wise in this game is not too much. I'm pretty sure JJ's back. I know he went off in the field last week also. He's been dealing with this ankle injury week in and week out. So I expect JJ to play today. This is a must-win for Minnesota. Now, you're looking at Nick Mullins, the starting quarterback in Minnesota. He's still the starting quarterback based on what the production that happened last week. And then you have Addison, TJ Hawkinson, KJ Osborne, and that's really kind of it, including Ty Chandler. That's really kind of it for these offenses. Where do you see this game going, Wheels? As I say 17 times, which I never do.
I mean, the Lions have more wins than the Pistons, which is really sad. The Pistons have 27 losses this year. But going back to football,
it's only like first third of the season.
They've lost 27 in a row.
It's only like the first third of the season.
They've lost 27 in a row. Or 20. That's a record.
I'm not a basketball fan.
I just heard it driving in on 90.
Okay, I'm not a basketball fan.
I don't watch much basketball. That's my brother. But going back to this game, I'm going to go what you say. My heart wants to go Detroit, but I think the Vikings play really well at home. Nick Mullins looked really good in that last game. I think with Jordan Addison, JJ back, you're going to open up the top of the field. Hawkinson, another guy who's just over the middle. He's just a ball hawk. That dude just is a magnet over the middle of the field. And I don't think the Lions have the linebackers right now to cover him. And there's a lot of weapons on that team that I don't think they can. I love the Lions. I love Amon-Ra. I love Jared Goff. I love their running back core. I love Reynolds over Jameson Williams. But I got to go with the Vikings here. I think coaching is just going to be a big factor in this. The Lions defense still has not looked like what they did in the beginning of the season since the Ravens game. They have just taken a step back, and that is very worrisome going into these late games because all these games matter because they can. I think they can still lose the division, right?
Yeah, the Lions. No, they can tie. Well. Technically,
they're 10.
No, so technically, if Detroit loses the next 3, they haven't clinched. So if Detroit loses the next 3, they technically could still lose the division. If Detroit wins today, they clinch division win.
Yes. So they haven't clinched. So there's a lot riding on them versus the Vikings. The Vikings are down, again, a lot of injured quarterbacks this year. I mean, if Kirk Cousins is here, there's no questions. I take the Vikings, and I think these teams are tied at record. But I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think coaching it's going to come down to and wide receiver core. Obviously, quarterback play, I would take Jared Goff over Nick Mullins. But defensive-wise, as much as I dislike the Vikings with their secondary, I think they're going to step up big. I'm not saying don't start Amon-Ra, don't start Sam Laporta, don't start.
He's not saying don't do that.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying. Yeah. He's not saying don't
start all your
start
starters.
All those guys. My argument again is playoffs. You have studs for a reason. Hawkinson and Sam Laporta have to start for you.
Yeah,
you can't pull those guys. Amon-Ra, JJ, they have to start for you. You guys, you're projecting 20 out of those guys. You have to start.
Yeah, I'm starting Trey McBride over Nico Collins.
Well, so we'll get into that, I'm sure, today. Nico, we don't know what's going on there. Now, so my projections in this game, I like what you said. The Nick Mullins thing is bothering me, but I do like Nick Mullins. I don't know if I like Jared Goff right now. Jared Goff had a decent week last week. They did bounce back. And I know I was good last week, but so far I'm only 2-1 this week, and I'm not a fan of that because that Cincy game was a give-me game. That should have been a give-me game. Now, granted, it's a division rivalry.
Shit the bed.
When I say give me, I mean the way since he's been playing, it's a give me. I'm not saying that the Steelers, you can just walk all over them. We know that the Steelers have been competitive all season. They obviously have a winning record again. It's so exhausting saying that. But it's one of those things that I don't I never underestimate the Steelers defense. And I think Bo even said the Steelers might win that game. So when he was on air, that's a great guess on
he
him.
did take the Steelers.
Yeah. So I did write the Steelers down.
He
so
took
yeah.
the Steelers.
Yeah. So that's a great guess on him. And I think he took Buffalo. Well, I don't know if he took the Chargers or not, but I think he did take Buffalo.
He didn't have anything written down. So I'm going to take the Vikings to win 24-21. I think a late game field goal is what takes it. And going back to the Lions, I hear a lot of people saying that Dan Campbell should be coach of the year. I don't understand why. We both had the Lions doing this well. I guess a lot of the other fans,
Who said?
I'm just hearing rumblings on Reddit and
I know Bo said Dan Campbell too.
I love Dan Campbell.
He said Dan Campbell or D'Amico, but a lot of people again.
I can't go with Dan Campbell because you were expected to be this good. You don't have Aaron Rodgers.
Well, this good, but if you go 13-4,
that's different.
That's different.
Yeah, you go 13-4, he deserves it. But if let's say you go 1-2 or 2-1, I don't think so.
I would still argue on the deserve part because you increased. What were they, 9-8 last year?
9-8. He has a winning. I don't know if he has.
He's had a winning record since he's been there.
No, because they were 0-10 his first year.
Last year was his first year.
This is his third year.
No,
isn't it?
No, last year was Patricia was the year before that. Matt Patricia, because remember, Patricia got hired back last year to the Patriots, and then they demoted him, and then it was a whole cluster last year. This
2021 to 2023, so this is third year.
Oh, maybe.
I remember watching them win that first game.
Okay.
Not trying to prove you wrong. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was just saying, no, please prove me wrong. I'm okay being wrong. It's fine. So I'm going to take Detroit.
3-13 their first year and 1 tie. So, I mean, he's definitely built this team up. And it's
I'm going to take Detroit. I'm going to say Detroit's coming back healthy.
I'm going to take the Vikings.
And I think that the Vikings aren't going to be able to stop that run game. As much as I like Daniil.
That's my biggest worry.
As much as I like Daniil, I don't think you're going to be able to stop that run game, especially if they utilize Jameer correctly.
Which they should have been for
I'm gonna say a close game, low scoring game. I'm gonna go 2017.
Okay, so field goal. Again, like me.
Yeah, and I took the under because the over-under was 47.5.
I took the under too. No, I did not. Oh, no, I did. 45 is my total score. Yours is 37.
All right, so we're going to move on to that next game. And this is another team that is in contention in the playoffs.
Hold on, going to that game real quick. I want to look at injuries. Sorry.
Indianapolis and Atlanta. Indy's holding on to their playoff spot at 8-6. They are currently the 7th place team in the AFC. Atlanta's still fighting for a division spot. They will not win a wild card spot, but they are fighting for the division. If Atlanta could squeak out a win this week, they are in competition, but they still need Tampa Bay and the Saints to lose. Saints did lose, so they need Tampa Bay to lose for all those teams to also have 7 wins if Atlanta wins. I don't like Atlanta this week. Give me your injuries.
So, injuries are for the Colts. Zach Moss is out. Michael Pittman is out. Jack Anderson, center, illness. He is out. Braden Smith, offensive tackle, knee is out. And linebacker Segan Alubi, hip is out. And then the Falcons, doubtful is fullback Keith Smith. And questionable is offensive lineman Caleb McGarry, defensive lineman David Onyemata. And offensive linebacker Bud Dupree. So, I mean, Zach Moss, I know. So, JT's back. Zach Moss, I think, is still going to be missing, obviously, Michael Pittman. So, I told you Friday who my prediction was for this game, and I took the Colts. As of right
Zach
now,
Moss is out.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh, I thought you said he's back.
No, I said JT's back. Zach Moss and Michael Pittman are both out. So, I got to take the Falcons. I think Taylor Heineke's going to have a good game. I'm starting the Colts defense because I don't want to start the Ravens or the Miami Dolphins defense in fantasy. So I picked up the Colts to start for playoffs. But it looks like I'm already going to lose to who cares. But I'm going to take the Falcons. I think Taylor Heineke's going to take this team to the win to their a big win against a division rival.
I wouldn't disagree.
I know it's not a division rival. I'm an idiot. Sorry. NFC, AFC.
I wouldn't disagree on the. I like the running back play today, right? So like Bijan. Speaking in news. Speaking in news.
I don't like
Atlanta was fined for starting Bijan that one play in that game.
When he had the migraine or whatever.
And he was sick, and they didn't announce it to the injury committee or whatever you want to call it. They didn't publicly announce that he was sick. So they did get a fine for that, for not following NFL procedure. And the reason why they get a fine like that, by the way, is because the NFL has partnerships with gambling sites, and they need to let the gambling sites know what's going on. And if they don't do that, I'm sure there's a big issue for the NFL there.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people that are like, "Wow, this is stupid. It shouldn't happen."
Especially if you're taking prop bets, unless injury happens mid-game, which has screwed me a few times. Obviously, that's out of their hands. But if you know a guy isn't going to play, and let's be honest, they only played him once, and during that snap to say, "Hey, let's make it not look so awkward," but they even made it look more awkward.
But I do like the running backs in this game. I do like Bijan in this game. He's going to be utilized.
I don't like Bijan.
But I do think that Taylor Heineke has trouble with throwing downfield to certain receivers.
That's where I think Tyler Algier comes in.
No, I think this is Jonnu Smith and Kyle Pitts again.
Okay. I'll take Tyler Algier over Bijan. Call me crazy. That's okay.
You'll take Tyler Algier over Bijan this week?
Yeah.
Why?
I think he scores more points.
It's just Arthur Smith's job.
And he's proven that he hasn't been able to do it at all this year.
No, but I'm saying it's his job at this point.
And you can sit there and blame I'm not saying they can sit there and blame that Desmond Ridder, but you've had Taylor Heineke riding the bench for 16 weeks, and now you're just starting him. I would have started Taylor Heineke 4 weeks ago. I mean, this division is so close that you're in. You could easily have had 2 more wins with Taylor Heineke because Desmond Ridder just is not it. And that's another guy who I got a lot of heat for, saying I did not like coming out of college. That whole quarterback draft did not look good. That draft class looks awful right now.
And I can understand that.
Which you're going to have some of those every year. It's nothing against it. But I don't think Arthur Smith is back at the end of the year, no matter. I don't think if they win their next 3 games, he's back. Even if they finish 9-8, I don't think Arthur Smith comes back.
Really?
No, I think because Arthur Blank said he is not sure about the head coaching position, but he'll come back to it at the end of the year. That tells me they're already out. They're just letting Arthur Smith finish out for pure respect. And I do think Arthur Smith is a big...
I like that. I mean, I can understand that.
I do think... This is the one time where I'm going to say I think Arthur Smith, just like Brandon Staley, is a big reason why. I mean, you saw how that Chargers offense looked yesterday. That looked completely different all year, even with Easton Stick playing. And you were missing Keenan Allen.
What do you mean by
Williams.
completely different?
It looked more cohesive. That offense looked more cohesive. Outside of the offensive line, their pass.
Did you watch the game?
Yes, I watched the game.
Okay, I'm asking.
I watched the end of the game
sincerely, because to be honest, they weren't able to get downfield.
No, but I think the Bills' defense is I think the 6th best defense in the league against the pass. And you're a backup quarterback playing with Quentin Johnston and Joshua Palmer. You're missing your top 2 wide receivers.
But if you did start their kicker, you were probably looking pretty good. Would they have 5 field goals?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is I don't think Arthur Smith will be back next year. I think he's decimating the offensive production and offensive growth of the team. And you're going to get somebody else in there.
My argument for this game
you need a quarterback.
Is your same argument for the last game. Is it goes with best coach.
Yeah, and this could be...
And this is Shane Steichen.
Yeah, and this could be a team that could go after Baker.
Who?
The Falcons.
Maybe, but I don't see that.
I mean...
The way this team's going to be...
The offense is just... You have the pieces.
You know who would go here? You know who would get a contract here? And crazy...
Joe Flacco?
Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
Because Gardner's only on a 1-year deal.
Gardner's going to go to the Steelers.
No, not. And I hate to say this, but after the production of Mason Rudolph, they're just going to go with Mason. They're just going to go with Mason, though.
But Mason's been the backup for how many years? He's proven he hasn't been. He couldn't be the starter.
That's not true. Look at Geno Smith.
The fact that
how long was Geno a backup?
And Geno's still not looking great.
I don't disagree, but he's able to manage the team. And if you can just manage the team, that'll get you 500. And that's all Tomlin wants is 500.
Like Cam Newton.
Tomlin just wants to never not have a losing record.
I've lost respect for that whole organization. But going back to this game.
So I love JT in this game.
I do. I love JT.
I love Josh Downs in this game, which sucks because I think I should play. I should play Josh Downs, but I can't. Because that means I would have to bench Amari Cooper, Devontae Smith, Mike Evans, or DK Metcalf.
Wait, who do you got to bench? Hold on.
I would have to bench one of these four. Okay. Amari Cooper, Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, or Devontae Smith.
And who do the Eagles play?
The Eagles will play the Giants. They're going to worry about AJ all day.
You're going to hate me for this. You're gonna
I'm not benching Devontae Smith.
No.
That's not happening.
Bench Cooper.
No.
It's going to be a Njoku game. Seems straight up.
It's going to be a passing game all day.
But the Texas secondary is very good against wide receivers.
It's okay against wide receivers.
Amari
Cooper's that good.
I bet you. Wait, who you have, Josh?
I would say DK Metcalf has a worse game than Amari Cooper. And I'd put money on that.
Oh, yes.
So why would I bench Amari Cooper?
Who is Seattle playing? I'm sorry. I didn't even hear you say DK Metcalf. I'm sorry. Jeez. The Titans?
That's my point. I have great matchups this week.
God, that hurt.
My worst matchup is...
Start your starters.
My worst matchup, but keep in mind the secondary, Atlanta, right? Good secondary. My worst matchup would be Josh Downs. Yeah. So that's why you start your starters in these situations. Josh Downs, my backup. Good backup.
Yeah.
So I think
he's
this
a flex.
I think it's a game where you can start Gardner.
Without a doubt, you can start Gardner. Without a doubt.
Keep in mind, Taylor Heineke is the quarterback for Atlanta, right?
I mean, like I said,
or is it Ritter?
No, it's Atlanta.
Or is it? There's a Taylor. Is it Ritter?
It's Heineke.
It's Taylor.
It's Heineke.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Okay. Arthur, can you call me and phone in who's starting today, please? Please.
I'm telling you, he's done. He's done. They're going to let him finish out the year, and they're going to fire him.
I'm going to take the Colts 28-21. I did it again.
Nope, you can't change it. I have Atlanta.
I don't know why I do that.
I have Atlanta winning 24-17.
28-21. You have Atlanta winning 24-17? Yeah, no. You know what?
I think Drake London has a touchdown. I think Johnny Smith has a touchdown. I think Tyler Algier has a touchdown.
Heineke did not play that well last time. He also did get a concussion in like the third quarter.
Yeah.
So
I think it was like the start of the third quarter he got a concussion.
Yeah, it was pretty early. It was like, hey, we're going to start Taylor Heineke. He's out. Just joining. Great holiday sweaters. Thank you. Wheels is green, Kelly. Don't compliment his green holiday sweater in front of a green screen. But thank you. Moving on from here. I lost my page. It is right here. Okay. Going into Cleveland. Well, actually going into Houston. Going into that Cleveland game. Cleveland's going into Houston. I have a big problem here. This is a grievance for the NFL. This is not a grievance for the teams.
Pizza Planet.
But she can read. It says Pizza Planet on the front of your shirt.
I'm a nerd.
Okay.
If you couldn't tell.
So I have a grievance here for the NFL. Why are the Browns playing away back-to-back seasons in Houston? And don't give me the Deshaun Watson
because
BS.
We're the Browns.
This makes no sense. This game should be in Cleveland this year. Now, granted, I understand that you can't play every game at home. That's not my argument.
We're just saying that because we're better at home. Let's be honest.
That's not my argument. But this game should be in Cleveland because it's back-to-back seasons. We're playing away the same division, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're playing the same division, and we're playing that same team away.
And
it's a Houston Deshaun Watson argument, really. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, it's popularity, but the Browns still have a chance to win a division.
It'll be tough. It'll be tough.
The Ravens have to lose
2
today, and essentially 2. They got to lose today, and then either against the Steelers or the Dolphins, which both those are probable.
Possible. Not probable. Possible.
Yes, thank you. Possible. Thank you.
Probable would mean that they're more likely to happen than not.
I'm going to go with probable. Give me probable. Ryan, you can hate me, but give me probable.
All right, give me your injuries for today in this game.
Do you want them? Are you sure?
Well, okay. So 26% of the cap space of the Cleveland Browns are injured.
All
now
right,
go forward.
So
just give me the guys who are stardom situms that are going to be injured today.
Agbo
Okoronkwo,
pectoral out. Anthony Walker knee out. Jordan Kunzek, I don't know. Kunnas.
I don't know. If I can't see it, I can't help you. But go ahead. No, continue.
Juan Thornhill out. Questionable. Joe Petonio. That is huge. That is a huge questionable tag for the Browns.
He's playing.
Yeah.
I think he's on a snap count, but I think he's playing.
So going back to possibly, if you win this week, you can clinch at home against the Jets next week. I think you play him.
If you win this week, you clinch playoffs.
No.
Yes.
Nope. You not with the Steelers.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
We have the tiebreaker in the AFC.
It's not. I already looked at it. You don't clinch playoffs this week.
Do we not have Well,
no, you need the Bills to lose.
Shit, the Steelers have the division record, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You needed the Bills to lose, and you need the Bengals to lose.
All right, we'll see. Okay, we might clinch this week depending on what happens moving forward.
And then obviously Texans, C.J. Stroud out. Will Anderson, huge defensive end, is out. Blake Cashman, linebacker, out. Questionable. Nico Collins, calf. Malik Collins, hip. Denzel Perriman, Achilles, questionable. So those are very, very big outs and questionable tags for the Texans on the defensive side of the ball. Both your rookies are out. Your both top 5 picks are out. Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud. And then you go to the offense of Nico Collins, who has pretty much been the life of the offense since Tank Dell went out. And he's just, I don't know if they're going to play him.
Okay, so according to Ian Rapp 4 hours ago.
And these were updated
4 hours ago. Nico Collins is listed as questionable and is expected to go, source said. Same with linebacker Denzel Perriman.
Okay. If I'm a Nico Collins owner, which I am, I don't start him against this D secondary with a calf injury. That is a easily re-injurable injury.
Yeah.
He
can easily re-injure.
Yeah, soft tissue muscle injuries, a calf injury is you misstep, you cut weird, you pop it, you re-aggravate, you're out for the rest of the game. And they're just playing him in hopes to, they got to win. So they're putting as much as
I hate to say this because I am a Dalton Schultz owner.
It's a Dalton Schultz
I think it
game.
has to be a Dalton Schultz game if Houston wants to progress and get first downs. I think you're going to have to hyper target Dalton Schultz and Robert Woods.
I think this is a John Mechie, Robert Woods game with a little sprinkle of Xavier Hutchinson. I want to see this.
Well, is Noah Brown still active? I know you want to see Xavier, but Noah Brown is still
I
active.
completely forgot about Noah Brown. That's my bad. So I think Nico Collins is going to be on a snap count. I think he's going to be some short little dink and dunk plays. I think Noah Brown and your John Mechie are going to be your vert guys, and Robert Woods and Nico Collins are going to be your over-the-middle guys, kind of getting first downs. I don't think you're going to put Nico Collins in. I
would not be shocked if Noah Brown has the breakdown play against the Browns, because the Browns always give up one big play.
1 or 2, yeah.
And especially away. I'll go 2. I'll go 2 away.
That's 1.5, I'm saying, but yeah.
No, but I'm saying being away, I will say they give down 2 broken plays. Is what I'm saying, because we're away. Defense plays worse.
Yeah, and
our defense does not travel right now.
Don't sleep. Don't sleep on the running game.
Which running game?
For the Texans.
Singletary Singletary's the type of running back we're weak against. It's like that ETN style running back.
Damian Pierce, we're not.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Damian Pierce. A lot of people forget about how good and how deep our interior defensive line is.
It is, but my issue is edges. We don't cover up edges.
You still have Myles Garrison, Zadarius Smith, and you still have Alex Wright. And Alex Wright, okay.
Don't hate me, Browns fans, but don't hate me, Browns fans. I love Myles Garrett, but he over pursues, especially on running plays, and that's where we get in trouble.
Not this year.
He's not as bad as in the past. You're correct, but
he's way better this year against the run.
He's very aggressive, but that's where you have the strip sack plays. So I'm okay with that. Or they stop him 3 yards in the backfield. But a lot of people just get mad with that, and I'm not mad. It's just something you have to live with. It's a boomer bust. I'm not saying obviously Miles is boomer bust, but those are those boomer bust plays. Either he's gonna sack him, or get the running back 3 yards in the backfield, or he's gonna go for like 5-6 yards, and you're relying on your defensive line outside of that to stop him in your linebacking core, which that's how it should be. The defensive ends should be the first guys there every time at the whistle. I don't care who it is. They need to be there. You need to be on ball all game long.
So
and that's what Miles is.
Myles Garrett, according to PFF, his run defense is 77. So it's not a
great,
90.
It's good. It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, not great, but
Nick Bosa, who's good in run defense, is an 84.
Okay, so he's 7
points higher than him.
Where's TJ at?
TJ's an 80.4.
Okay, so he's about the same.
Yeah, they're all roughly about his. I'm telling you, this year.
And you got to remember,
I usually agree with you.
TJ is an outside linebacker.
And so is Micah, and Micah's a 61.6 against the run.
Really?
Yeah.
That is bad.
So,
and thank you, Bo, for providing us with the PFF.
We do appreciate it. So I will say that, like, I agree. I kind of agree with you in the whole, like, over pursue originally with Myles Garrett, but this year it's different with Schwartz at the helm. It's completely different.
Yeah. The thing is, I think also that changes that is he can change positioning on the field. He can go defensive tackle. He can go, obviously, either side of the line and just interrupt it. I think a big help on our offense is going to be them missing Will Anderson.
I think a lot of people need to understand that even though Myles is not the sack leader, right, which is good this year.
He still shows up
because
in games.
Last year, I think the Browns had a total of like 19 sacks, and Myles had 16 or 18 of them.
Yeah, Zadarius has, 6 this year?
Right now, the team is totaling 41 sacks. We're in the top 10 for sacks. And that is good. That is really good for what's going on with the team. So I'm okay with the way the team's playing. Here's what I'm going to say. I don't want to get too far into this because I know we're wasting time on this game. I have the Cleveland Browns winning this game. And I'm going to have the Cleveland Browns win this game. I am a homer. I will be a homer picker. Now, here's what I will tell you. I know a few people that I know are really afraid of this game because it's Houston. I'm not afraid of this game because Case Keenum, going against the Browns pass rush, he's not mobile. If you watched Case Keenum at all in Cleveland, and if you watched him at all in Minnesota, and if you watched him at all in Houston, Case Keenum is not very mobile. He is a pocket passer. And that pass rush, with the way Jim Schwartz is scheming stunts and he's scheming all of these ins and outs, they will get to Case Keenum at least 3 times this game. I'm not worried about Case Keenum. What I'm worried about is a breakdown in the secondary up the middle where Robert Woods skips through a seam, or where Noah Brown skips through the seam and does exactly what Josh Downs did to us and Michael Pittman did to us 3 times in a game.
You're going to have it. I'm just going to tell you right now.
That's what I'm worried about.
You're going to have it. Obviously, I mean, we have some of the best coverage corners
and our secondary's pretty healthy, right? Ward's back.
Ward's back. Emerson's back.
Newsome's been playing good. Emerson. Delpit's out for the rest of the year.
Delpit's on the IR. I always get Delpit and Newsom confused.
But like you said, Juan Thornhill is dealing with injury.
Yeah, so I saw a post just real quick. I know we're spending a lot of time in this game, but I saw a post on Twitter that said Juan Thornhill is one of the worst signings by Andrew Berry. It's not. The guy's injured. Nobody foresaw that. You don't see injury. So what about Aaron Rodgers? Is that the worst trade ever, other than Denzel or Deshaun Watson?
Well, whoever said that doesn't like the Browns, because if you look at how much we paid Juan Thornhill for his production,
it was a Browns Facebook or a Twitter page.
If you look at what we paid Juan Thornhill for his production, it is not a bad signing. This is what people don't understand. When you put money to production, it's not a bad signing.
And it goes back to what Bo was saying yesterday perfectly. He said, once you get that money for some of these guys,
you play cautious.
Exactly. That was a great example of what he did yesterday. And it kind of, I don't want to say it goes into now, but Thornhill, I mean, it's a calf injury. Nico Collins is dealing with a calf injury. Those are big injuries, especially for, secondary guys. They're always moving. Everybody. So you can't sit there. They're cutting, they're moving, they're stopping, they're going. It's a calf injury is not easy for a safety to come back from. And it's obviously been a very bad calf injury, because he's been out multiple weeks, I don't think it's a bad signing. I think, if he comes back and I think he's going to make a big play in playoffs for us.
I'm assuming you have the Texans winning today.
No. I have the Browns.
Okay.
I've been right 4 weeks in a row.
With the Browns? Yeah, I know. You've picked the Browns 2 of those 4 weeks.
Give me the Browns. So going back to the Case Keenum thing. Case Keenum, he obviously he's won with the Washington Commanders. He's won with the Vikings. He's won with us. His ceiling is a lot lower.
Stop saying Washington.
He did play for. Oh no,
Houston.
Sorry, Houston. Sorry.
You did that again.
I know. I get him and Kirk confused.
I don't know how. They both played in Minnesota. I can understand that.
Why. No, Kirk. Yeah, but no. Case Keenum, Houston.
He was drafted by Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
He went to Minnesota and then the Browns signed him, and then he's back in Houston.
I will take the ceiling for him to Joe Flacco is much lower. And Joe Flacco is, in my opinion, elite right now.
We just got to get out of December.
Just give me 2 more wins.
Get me out of December, baby.
Give me 2 more wins. Just give me 2 more wins.
Stardoms for me this week. I like Amari Cooper. I'd like David Njoku. I think this might be a week where you can start Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah. So Kareem Hunt, I would start. He's gonna. I have him getting about 6 or 7 passes and a touchdown, and I have Jerome Ford rushing for a touchdown.
Flex options though, I don't like those as RB1s or 2. I like those guys as an RB flex if you need it.
I would start more of a Kareem Hunt because I think Kareem Hunt will be better against this defensive front.
I like Kareem Hunt in this game. I call me crazy,
and you're in
like
a dome,
you said.
so
I like Kareem Hunt.
That's even better for our offense. You're not playing in weather.
It's amazing for Joe Flacco.
I'm just not happy with what we're playing.
The argument was Joe Flacco's not good in December because December weather. And he's always been in outdoor stadiums in December. This dude's in a dome.
All right, go build the dome real quick in Cleveland, guys.
No, just for the next 2 weeks. All right, I have the Cleveland Browns winning this game. I actually have it big. I have it 27-17. You have the same thing? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's crazy though. The over under on this game. The Browns are only favored by 2.5, and we said Houston's home. That's a 1.5, so that's only by a point. Over under on this game is 39.5, and we both just took the over.
Yep. High scoring.
Right. So we're going to get out of this game, and we are going to get into the next 1 o'clock game, and that is Seattle going into Tennessee. Will Levis is not expected to play in this game. Geno Smith is healthy. Kenneth Walker is healthy. Those are 3 guys that are big in this game. I see
a lot of injuries.
Go for it. Give it to me.
We'll start with the Seahawks real quick. D. Estridge, wide receiver, out. Jamal Adams, out. Frank Clark, out. Questionable. Kenneth Walker, I saw this morning that he should play.
He's in.
Keep an eye.
I saw it from...
Are you sure?
Yeah, from Rap.
Can you put money on it?
I can never put money on anything. Bijan was supposed to play, and he only got 1 snap.
Center Evan Brown, questionable illness. Devon Witherspoon, questionable, and Trey Brown, questionable. So they are questionable with two corners, and they're out 1 safety with Jamal Adams. So secondary could be hurting today.
According to Ian Rapp 4 hours ago, Kenneth Walker III shoulder is expected to play today. Source said he's listed as questionable.
Okay. And then Titans, we go to Kyle Phillips, wide receiver, out. Jeffrey Simmons, defensive lineman, out. TK Melendon, out. Defensive lineman. Linebacker Luke Gifford, out. Linebacker Jake Gibbons, out. Defensive back Kayvon Wallace, out. Defensive back Sean Murphy Bunting, out. That is big. And another big one, Amari Hooker, safety, out. And now we go to questionables. Will Levis, Chig.
Will Levis is out.
They have him as questionable. This was updated.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure he's
tight
out.
end Chig Okonkwo, illness. Tight end Josh Wiley. Tight end Trayvon Wesco. And then Aaron Brewer, questionable, and Daniel Brunskill is questionable. Holy crap.
So Ryan Tannehill is supposed to be the starter for Tennessee Titans. As according to 3 hours ago around the NFL, Will Levis is not expected to play versus Seattle Seahawks due to high ankle sprain, putting Ryan Tannehill in position to return to the starting lineup.
And I don't hate that. I mean, you're pretty much out of
next
playoffs.
Next year.
Yeah.
You got Will Levis next year.
Yeah. Why sit there and have him possibly re-injure it and him be out multiple weeks?
Agreed.
So
And to be honest, I love Vrabel, and Vrabel does nothing but upset teams.
yeah, give me the not the Colts. Good Lord, Titans.
Seattle's gonna keep their playoff hopes alive here. I'll take Seattle in this game.
I'm taking 17-14.
Stardoms for me, you have to start JSN this week. I think he's been a big point in that offense now. DK, Tyler Lockett's starting to take a backseat for me. I also think you can start Fant this week. His production has been up. But keep in mind they have 3 tight ends and they use them all. So that would be maybe a tight end 15.
Do you start both Kenneth Walker and...
No.
Okay.
No, I start Kenneth Walker all day, play the hot hand. Charbonnet will be used in key downs where they need to push for that 3rd or 4th down to get that first down play. But for the most part, Kenneth Walker is going to take most of the reps. I'll give you 75-25.
Okay, I like that. That.
Now, Geno Smith, this is dangerous to start Geno because his production has not been up.
They're missing like 90% of their secondary.
And the thing is, Geno has a lot of chemistry with his offense. So maybe you can start Geno for 3 touchdowns, maybe.
And I agree. I think this is going to be a huge JSN game. I think this will be a coming out party for JSN.
I think he had that a couple weeks ago. Was it like 6 or 7 receptions, or was it last week?
Yeah, and I dropped him like 8 weeks back.
I mean, so it's tough. It's tough. Rookie receivers are tough to start. That's why you don't draft rookies in a redraft league a lot of times. It's tough.
I traded for Addison early on, and he got me like 3 or 4.
So, Tennessee stardoms for me.
Chig's out. Oh no, sorry, Chig's questionable.
Okay, so
Hopkins and Derrick Henry.
I don't even know if I like Hopkins with Tannehill.
So Derrick Henry, run the ball 70 times. Do what the
So Tajay had a bad last week. I kind of like Tajay this week. I almost put him in a flex. I would start Tajay over Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford. That's me.
I would not.
That's me.
It's just the production is just
Tajay. So Tajay, not last week, but the 2 weeks prior had 18 and like 16 points.
Like we said, his production is increasing.
But it goes through these like waves, these ebbs and flows.
Because you're still saving him. The kid's a rookie.
I agree. Yeah,
he's a rookie. Yeah.
So, but I kind of like Tajay.
Essentially, they're doing what you're doing with Will Levis. You're not throwing everything out there. You're saving him for next year still.
Yeah, maybe.
He's the future.
You don't do it with running backs. Running backs have a short shelf life. You'd be saving Derrick Henry for your playoff run at this point.
Yeah, they should have traded him.
I don't disagree, but at the same time, he might want to stay there. Derrick Henry might want to retire a Titan.
Obviously, we read a lot on Twitter and other news sources. Obviously, I'm not saying Twitter is a big news source, but there are rumblings that Derrick Henry wants out of the Titans.
I'm going to say Seattle in this game, and I'm going to go pop-off game for Seattle, bounce back with the offense. I'm going to go 24-14.
Okay. I have the Titans winning 17-14.
Oh, I just realized 24-14. The over-under on this game is 41.5. I took the under.
And so did I. So I don't tell you how to bet, but keep that in mind.
Seattle is favored by 3.5. So far, the highest favorite this week.
Really? This is where we get into those goofy weeks because it's endgame. Injuries are obviously at an all-time high.
All right, let's get into another game. This one's for Aaron, right? We have Washington going into New York, the battle of the underdogs.
Okay, you're going against the
I had no other name for these trash teams.
Worst-ranked offense for the Jets going against the worst-ranked defense. It is a stop.
The worst-ranked defense. We got rid of Montez Sweat and Chase Young. It's disgusting.
They're rebuilding. Obviously injuries. Brian Robinson Jr. is out.
Antonio Gibson, start him.
What did I say about Antonio Gibson like 4 weeks ago? I said, you better pick him up if he's on your waiver wires. You're going to need him.
The problem is he's sitting on my bench
Center,
right now.
Tyler Larson, out. Charles Lennon Jr., offensive tackle, out. And Percy Butler, safety, questionable. Now we'll go to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, he's out. Zach Wilson, out. Questionable is Israel Abendakanda. Offensive tackle, Dwayne Brown. Defensive lineman, Jonathan Franklin Myers. That's big. And defensive back, Jordan Whitehead is questionable. So you're going with one of the fans to start at quarterback for you this week? Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are both out.
Yeah, no, I'm not touching Trevor Siemian.
No.
Especially again. Well,
Give me Washington. You have to.
give me the Jets.
Really?
Give me the Jets. I'll take the Jets because of the run offense. I like Bijan. I like Garrett Wilson. And I still like Tyler Conklin. Those are three guys I still like offensive production. Sam Howell's going to sling it. But against this defense, I see a lot of turnovers.
Okay, I have Washington winning 21-9.
I will take the Jets. I will take the Jets with Trevor Siemian.
9-3. I don't think he scored a touchdown for them yet.
Give me 24-21 Jets.
Are you on drugs?
Maybe.
If this happens, I'll buy you a nice bottle of bourbon.
So FYI, I just took the over.
You said 24-21, right?
Yep. Well, 24-20. Yeah, I took the over. The over-under on this game is 36.5, and the Jets are favored by 3 at home.
I'm going to throw a $5 bet on the 21-9 line. I wonder what it'll pay out.
$5? Probably like $10,000.
Fuck it. I'll do it live.
I mean, that's kind of crazy, though. All right, so stardoms in this game. Terry?
Scary Terry.
Curtis?
Antonio Gibson. Curtis Samuel.
Sam Howell? I don't like Howell.
No, I start Howell.
Okay.
I start Howell, and I start
I don't like Howell just because it's a good defense.
Jahan Doxson. I start that whole offensive. Obviously, I think the Jets are they're wearing.
I think he's taking the easy way out. He doesn't want to say that some of these guys might not have a good game.
I think Logan Thomas. Yeah. No, scratch that. I think Logan Thomas has a good game.
Over Jahan?
Over Jahan and Curtis Samuel.
I like Curtis and Scary Terry.
I think Scary Terry.
Gibson I'll take for 12 to 15.
Yeah, Gibson, if you're looking for a floor of about 10 points, start Gibson.
And then Sam Howell, I see 3 turnovers. So
really?
Maybe 16 points.
I got 1 fumble, 1 turnover. 1 fumble in the first half, one interception late third.
And then I see the Jets looking like they're unstoppable.
With Trevor Siemian.
It's not him. It's this whole offense is going to run through Bijan today.
Bijan, you mean?
Or Breece Hall. The whole offense is going to run through Breece Hall today. If they let him run. I mean,
he ran like 8 times last week.
We'll see. Well, I mean, they're out of playoffs. I don't want to injure him. Yeah, so maybe it's Dalvin Cook, the 32-year-old running back.
Hey, he's still a beast in Madden.
Nah, he's only 28. Just an FYI. All right, we'll get off of this game because this game means nothing to the NFL.
Not a thing.
We are going to go into, I think this is one of the last 1 o'clock games.
This is my favorite game of the
Green
week.
Bay going into Carolina, who got their second win last week, which Wheels called. Wheels called this game last week that Carolina would win. I was a little upset about it because I've been trying to call their second win all year, and I missed.
Give them another win, baby. Let's go. Give me Carolina. They are hot. And bothered.
Hot. This team is on fire.
They haven't had a win since like week 6. It was against the Texans.
Who?
The Carolina Panthers.
No, it was last week. They won last week.
I'm talking about before that. It was like week 6 against the Texans. They won against the Texans, remember?
Oh, they beat CJ Stroud?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yes.
I don't believe you. I have to double check this. Damn, they did. 15-13.
Excuse me?
Say that again.
15-13. Damn, Wheels been right twice today. Guys.
Call Guinness.
Bet his numbers.
Give me Carolina. Call me crazy. Carolina's secondary plays very well at home. And Jordan Love is, I love Jordan Love. Haha.
Green Bay's favored by 4 going into Carolina. Over-under is 37.5.
First, let's go into injuries.
Go for it.
Carolina, there's no injuries. Good job, guys. You're staying healthy at 2-12.
If you don't play hard, how can you get injured?
Packers out is as followed. Tight end, Luke Musgrave, kidney. Safety, Darnell Savage, out. Doubtful is Emmanuel Wilson, running back, and offensive tackle, Luke Tenuta. And then questionable is a lot. Running back, A.J. Dillon. Wide receiver, Christian Watson.
A.J. Dillon, I want to say I just saw this, is starting.
Wide receiver, Christian Watson. Wide receiver, Dontavian Wicks. Wide receiver, Jaden Reed. Defensive lineman, T.J. Slayton. Cornerback, Jair Alexander. Cornerback, Robert Rochelle. And safety, Ruby Rudy Ford are all questionable. So you're missing 3 of your wide receivers are questionable.
I lied.
Dontavian Wicks, Jay Reed, and Christian Watson.
I think A.J. Dillon's out. Broken thumb.
So who are they having at running back? Aaron.
They got James Robinson.
That or Aaron. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. So yeah, just give me the
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
He's out for the year, I think.
No, he played. He played last week.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
No, it's Aaron Jones. You're right.
Yeah. No. So give me Carolina. I think this is a big Chuba Hubbard game, and I think this is an Adam Thielen coming back to what he was about 5 weeks ago. I think he'll have another big game. I think he's gonna have like 22 fantasy points. I don't, as much as I love the Panthers, I don't start.
So I'm going to try to be as accurate as possible. Aaron Jones is playing in this game, and A.J. Dillon's supposed to be back, but he has a broken thumb.
You good luck. Because it's one.
At this point, I don't start either of those running backs. I would start Miles Sanders over both of them.
Start James Robinson.
I don't think James Robinson, they haven't used him.
We'll talk about that after, but I'm going to take Carolina. I think Chuba Hubbard has a big game. This secondary, if Jordan Love's missing 2 of the wide receivers, let alone 1, it's going to be a rough game because you're missing 3 of your top wide receivers, possibly. They're all questionable. That whole wide receiver room is nearly questionable.
They used Robinson one time.
No, he's on the Saints now. When the hell did he get signed to the Saints?
That's weird. That's a good point.
Holy crap!
I'm glad you caught that.
Look at the team.
I'm trying. Give me a second. I don't like it. Patrick Taylor, Emmanuel Wilson, and Kareth White.
Emmanuel Wilson's out. Or sorry, doubtful.
So it's Patrick Taylor.
He sounds white.
He had one. He's black. He had 1 carry for 6 yards, 2 receptions, -4 yards.
I'm not racist, but Patrick sounds like a white
name. Yeah, he might get some touches this week, Patrick Taylor.
And, guys who don't, I don't know, maybe start him. Maybe if you're really desperate.
I think it's got to be all Jones, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be all Jones.
If he can, move. The dude moves like a stone now.
It's all Jones. It's got to be all Jones.
He's almost 30,
I'll take Jones in the red zone.
It's about the only time he works.
No, maybe it's Dillon in the red zone. That's a good point.
His broken thumb.
That's crazy.
Can he hold on to the ball?
All right, so
he's still playing video
here's
games,
what I'll say.
With that broken thumb.
I will say that Green Bay's been on fire. They did not have a good week last week. If they want their playoff hopes alive, they have to win this week.
They're going to lose.
So I'm going to give Green Bay the win because I gave Detroit the win, which means Minnesota and Green Bay will be tied. They will be tied. I will give Green Bay the win, and it'll be a close one. I do kind of like the under on this. I'm going to go 21-10. I'm going to go 21-10 Green Bay.
Give me Carolina 17-13.
All right. Getting out of that last 1 o'clock game for Christmas Eve. Getting into the 4 o'clock games for all y'all out there.
Is this the game I love this week?
Probably if it's a 4 o'clock game. Wheels does not understand the difference between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games, apparently. You have Jacksonville going into Tampa Bay.
I love this game.
This one's for all you guys out there. This, to me, could be the game of the week.
It is. This is the game. I mean, this and the...
Well, now, when we say game of the week, we don't talk about primetime games for all you guys out there. So this is the game. This is the must-watch game of the week, essentially.
Anything at 8 o'clock.
So you have 2 teams that are currently in first place in their divisions.
One win apart.
And mind you, they're tied for first place in their divisions. So if Jacksonville loses today, the Colts win the first place, and Jacksonville's fighting for a wild card.
So,
like, that's crazy.
The Colts, the Houston Texans, the Jags are all tied.
Is Houston 8-6?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. They are.
It's insane. Nobody saw that. But
insane in the membrane.
Let's go to injuries. Jaguars, questionable are as followed. Trevor Lawrence, we said he should play.
T-Law is expected to play today, according to news 4 hours ago.
Wide receiver Zay Jones, knee hamstring, questionable. Tight end Brenton Strange, questionable. Cornerback Christian Braswell, questionable.
You still have Evan Ingram, though.
Cornerback Tyson Campbell, questionable. And this is big. If he is out.
Tyson Campbell's big.
No,
Yeah.
this is that, and this is big too. Safety Andre Cisco, groin is questionable. That is a big miss if they don't have him. He has been a huge force in their secondary this year. I think he has like 3 interceptions this year. He has been all over the field when it comes to wide receivers. He is there at ball, making contact all game long. He's always where the play is. He's never off doing his own thing. Andre Cisco is a big part of the secondary for this team if he is out. That is a very worrisome injury if he does not play. And then Buccaneers out is Raheem Jarrett, wide receiver.
Rackham Jarrett.
Rackham, sorry.
No, it's Raheem. You're right.
And questionables are defensive lineman Will Golston and safety Antonio Winfield Jr., who is
Antoine.
You're
reading it, and you say Antonio.
Antoine Winfield Jr. And I have an auto card of his, and I still say it. And it sits in my case next to my computer.
You would think he did. This is the best part about this guy. Is like you would think he does that on purpose. It is unintentional.
You say I'm a little slow.
It's unintentional.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
But no, Antoine Winfield, that's another big. If him and Andre Cisco are out, though, I feel like those are equal missing pieces.
Tampa Bay. Give me Tampa Bay.
Give me Baker and Tampa. I love it.
Give me Baker and Tampa.
I think they win by 10.
Baker played a perfect week last week in Green Bay. No, 2 weeks ago in Green Bay. He did have a decent week last week. Give me Tampa Bay. Give me Mike Evans and Baker all day. And Rashad White, by the way, looking like a stud. Start him.
Yep, 27-17.
I think Rashad White's like 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards. Like, Rashad White is having a phenomenal year. Let me look that up before I look too stupid, right? Season, 23, stats, running back, yardage. Get rid of the name. In Rashad White. Oh, I have to uncheck free agents. Oh, I lied. I thought he was up there. No, 834. Where's receptions? Yardage. 834. Maybe he's not up there.
Yeah, Baker had a great game against the Packers. Almost 40 fantasy points. What the hell is that noise?
Yeah, it was just something clicked. Oh, you know he's second. That's what I saw. He's second in receiving yards, right behind Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey has 509. He has 469 receiving yards.
Let me ask you this.
So all-purpose yards, Rashad White has 1,300 all-purpose yards. That's pretty darn good for a second-year running back.
Let me ask you this.
He's above Kamara, too, by the way, for receiving.
Do you start Baker or do you start Purdy?
This week? Oh, I would... Oh.
It's tough, right?
I'd start Baker.
I'm in semis.
I'll start Baker over Purdy. Mainly because like I don't see a lot of touchdown production. I see touchdown production in this game. I see a defensive battle, kind of like Cleveland and the right end 49ers. I see a defensive battle over there.
Okay.
Not an offensive battle. This game, I see over 45. So like I got Tampa Bay winning this game 27-24.
Or do I start Jordan Love?
Jordan Love. No, I actually am starting Jordan Love
Against
this week.
Carolina, no.
I actually am starting Jordan Love this week. But if you look at my other, I have T-Law. So like I'm going to start Jordan Love over T-Law. And T-Law with no Kirk.
Can Baker carry me to the championship?
And T-Law with no Kirk, by the way.
If Baker carries me to the championship.
Hey, you know what? You and I are so out of it, it's okay to take risks at this point. Because we're getting demolished.
You're not wrong.
We're getting demolished.
He's had 3 players play, and he's already put up 70 points. So.
And I've had 2 against me in one league, and he's put up 70, and I had 2 in the other league, and they put up 40. So it's a tough one for me, too. That being said, like I said, stardoms, I'm not a T-Law fan and a stardom right now. With the injury and everything that's going on.
The ankle injury and the concussions, we've seen it before. Quarterbacks do not come back well with concussions.
And I could be completely wrong. T-Law could go and pop off for 27 points. Very, very possible. But I would start Baker over T-Law in this game for fantasy. That's just me.
And the Buccaneers play a lot better on offense at home.
I do not know that stat.
They play better.
So, I won't say that because I don't know the spread. But can I find out the spread really fast? What are the? No, I can't. I thought there was a home.
Might be wrong,
I thought there was
they played better at home.
I thought there was a props, like you could see whether or not they're better at home or not. But I'm not going to get into it.
They're 3-3 at home and 4-4 on the road. So I mean, they're not.
They're 500 across the board.
Yeah.
That's weird. Their record's 500. Just kidding. All right, we're gonna get out of this game.
They are 500.
I know. I know. We're gonna get out of this game. Did you take Jacksonville?
No, I took Bucks.
You took Bucks too.
Yeah.
Wow. So both of us are taking the underdog in this game.
17.
So both of us are taking the underdog in this game. That's crazy because that means that if Houston beats the Browns or the Colts beat, I don't remember who they're playing. Who are the Colts playing? Indy, Atlanta, or the Colts beat Atlanta, which is possible. Now that's funny. The Colts play the NFC South, and Jacksonville plays the NFC South. Both of them have to get past the NFC South to win their division.
Sorry, Jaguars, it's not happening.
And you currently have the NFC South beating both AFC teams.
Who?
You had Atlanta winning, didn't you?
Yeah, but I have the Buccaneers.
And you have both of those NFC teams beating those AFC teams. So I find it funny. So the worst division in both the AFC and the NFC are battling this week.
I have everybody.
And you have the NFC
South.
I know.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't, because I took the Titans. The Titans are the only team that'll win the AFC South. But the losing record.
You took the Saints to win. That didn't happen. No. But you took the Saints to win.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on from here, this 4 o'clock game, we're gonna get into the Arizona goes into Chicago, another battle of teams that are currently out of playoffs. Now, technically, Chicago's not out of playoffs, but they need everybody in their division to lose, and they need to win out. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Injuries are as followed. Marquise Brown is out. Cornerback Bobby Price is out. Garrett Williams is out. Questionable. Wide receiver Greg Dortch. Defensive lineman Kevin Strong. Linebacker Victor Demukaji.
I don't know.
Sorry. And cornerback Antonio Hamilton.
That one is Antonio.
And Bears wide receiver Equanimous St. Brown is out with a pec injury. Offensive
He's
guard.
not impactful.
No. Offensive guard, Tevin Jenkins. Linebacker, Noah Sewell, rookie.
Tevin Jenkins being out of Chicago?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a big one.
And Noah Sewell's a rookie.
They paid for Tevin Jenkins.
And
that's gonna be a big one.
Questionable is Dante Foreman, running back Travis Homer, and tight end Cole Kmet. So you're possibly without 2 running backs. So
Cole
Roshan.
Cole Kmet should be playing.
Roshan Johnson game maybe?
Yes.
I like him. He was the other running back at Texas with Bijan. He didn't look bad against the Browns.
Okay.
He had some big plays.
5 hours ago, according to Ian Rapp, tight end Cole Kmet is expected to play, who was questionable with a quad injury for today's game.
Okay, yeah, this was updated late last night, so that's more.
And Deontay Foreman's personal matter is expected to be out.
Okay, so maybe unfortunate thing happened in his family, or maybe a baby's coming. Who knows?
So I think you definitely start Roshan.
Yeah.
I think you start Roshan in this game against Arizona's run defense.
Yeah.
I don't like James Conner going against Chicago's run defense.
No, let's go start him Sims.
Because Chicago, right? Second best run defense in the NFL behind the 49ers.
Yep.
So that's huge. Go ahead.
Do you start Trey McBride?
I am starting Trey McBride.
You have to, right?
Yeah, I think you have to.
The dude's been
he's a top 10 tight end. I don't think you have a choice at this point. Since he has stepped on the field and Zach Ertz has left, he's put up like 10 to 15 points a week. Minimum. So I think you have to start Trey McBride.
Okay.
So Marquise Brown is out, right?
Marquise Brown's out.
Yeah.
And Greg Dortch is questionable.
This is a Rondale Moore game in Trey McBride. James Conner is going to get a bunch of touches, and the way his production was last week against, who did they play? 49ers?
Yes.
Though the way their production was last week against the 49ers, I think James Conner was averaging some odd like ridiculous. It was like 4.8 yards per carry, I think.
Do we see a Michael Carter Jr. game at all?
Who?
And Michael
No,
Carter
no, no, no. This is going to be James Conner all day.
I like that.
I just don't know how much he can have on the ground against the second best run defense in the NFL when he had 200. I think Arizona had over 200 yards rushing against the 49ers.
Who do you take? What was the Buccaneers score? I'm sorry, I didn't write it down.
So maybe you do start James Conner this week because of the fact that I said 27-24.
Okay.
Because of the fact that James Conner did do that well against the 49ers, maybe you do start him today. Kyler, I think, is to start him just because of the running upside.
Okay.
And then
I think you start Justin. Without a doubt, you start Justin.
Justin Fields has played better and better week in and week out.
He's.
I think you can with the rushing upside.
You're not getting rid of Justin Fields.
And then DJ Moore, you have to start.
Oh yeah.
So those two, and like I said, Roshan, it to me is like a running back 18. So maybe flex option, maybe running back 2 if you have to find a guy.
If you're like in a 12-man league, I think.
Yeah, I think you might have to start him. And especially if you're losing Deontay Foreman, right?
I'm starting the Bears, or I'm taking the Bears. Give me the Bears to win 21-20.
I'm taking Arizona to win this game.
Okay.
I really have been a fan of the way Arizona's been producing. They just have had a rough year because of the injuries they've dealt with and Kyler coming back so late in the season. Kyler's kind of come into a swing. Like I said, they put up ridiculous points on the 49ers in the first half, and then they fell apart the second half.
They got outplayed in the second half.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals 24-21.
So
the over-under on this game is, by the way, for all you out there, is 43. Wow, I took 1 point over. 2 points? 43, 40, or 23, 21? Yeah, 40, 44.
You have 45. 24, 21.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Sorry, you can't.
Arizona is the underdog in this game. Chicago is being given 4. To be honest, this should be a wash game. There should be no over-under. It should be just 0. Both these teams are probably fairly equivalent. Right. And then going from here out of this game, because it did not matter, into the last 4 o'clock game, and this one is big. Give me your stats on this game.
Trash.
Okay, that was good.
That's trash.
Yeah, one of the best defenses in the NFL against one of the best offenses in the NFL.
Funny enough, both these teams have lost the Bills. The Dolphins have yet to beat a team over 500. Their losses are against the Bills, the Eagles, I got it pulled up. Hold on.
Jacksonville?
No, they've lost to the Eagles, they lost to the Chiefs, they've lost to the Bills, and the Titans.
Oh, that's right. They lost it last week to the Titans.
And then you go to the Cowboys.
By the way, remember that caveat in that game? I said Mike Vrabel has a habit of upsetting teams.
And then the Cowboys lost to the Bills, lost to the Eagles, lost to the Niners.
But they beat the Eagles, too.
Lost to the Cardinals. So I'm going to take
the Cardinals at the beginning of the year, though.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean, but I think the Dolphins are overrated. I think the Dolphins lose their next 3, and the Bills win their next 3, and the Bills clinch the division. So give me the Cowboys.
Says the Bills fan.
But,
by the way, he said that the Bills would not make playoffs.
I did.
2 weeks ago.
I said at the beginning of the year. I had them not making.
You said it again like 2 weeks ago. Now you have them clinching the division.
Just because the Dolphins are not good. I'm sorry. The Dolphins have played good against shitty teams.
I would disagree with that. I'm going to take the Dolphins this week, and I'm going to take the Dolphins by a small margin. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be 31-28 Dolphins.
And you know how much I hate the Cowboys, right? KJ knows. You guys know, because
I'm not a Dak fan either, but I think if I had to pick a more consistent defense, I would take Miami. Dallas is a boomer bust team on the offense, and they play worse at home, or they play worse away than they do at home. I think all of their losses have gone away. Their 4 losses, I'm pretty sure, are all away.
Hold on. The Cowboys are 3-4 on the road and 7-0 at home, and the Dolphins are 6-1 at home and 4-3 on the road. So they're almost the same. The Dolphins.
So all of their losses have been away,
except one.
Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
All of their losses have been away.
Until today.
All right, we'll see. I don't think they can put up the production that they need to put up against this. This is my argument, is Miami played very well against the Jets defense, and they put up over 30 points. Jets secondary is hands down better. And they didn't have Tyreek Hill.
I don't think
or Achane. And Achane and Tyreek Hill are both active today.
Yeah, I don't think the the Dolphins have played an offense like the Cowboys yet.
I will also argue, give me one pick six, though, for Dallas.
I like that. What was your score for the Dolphins?
31-28. Miami.
Give me the Cowboys 42-24.
That's definitely not going to happen. They're not covering by that much.
There's always one blowout game. I feel like on Christmas, like
the
Christmas
over
Eve, Christmas.
the over
There's always
under
one huge blowout game.
The over under this game is Miami's favored by 1.5, and that is
So
literally
they're at home.
home.
Yeah. I'll go with you. Not the 3 points anymore.
It's the point and a half, but
They're
like
home.
so it's
they're
0-0.
they're- Regardless of record, you look at these teams, and they are the same. Whether it go to obviously outside of the running back room, but wide receiver,
They're the same but
quarterback.
opposite, right? Like I think Miami is more offensive of a
Miami
team.
has
Dallas is more of a defensive of a
Who
team.
do you think is more consistent?
Miami.
Offensively,
Yes. Miami.
and I like Cowboys defense.
Defense is inconsistent. I would argue that their offense has been more consistent, but their defense has just been inconsistent.
Oh yeah, without Deron Bland, yeah, he hasn't shown up in a few weeks.
Because he's a boomer bust player.
Yeah, that's what we say. He's
As
a
soon
ball
as you
hawk.
do a double move, game over. And if you give him time, and Tua has some of the most time in the pocket in the NFL.
I think there's
That's a stat you should look up because it's
sacks.
funny. Go look that stat up.
3 sacks today by the Cowboys.
That's not happening either. That's not happening at all.
Caveat: 3 sacks.
No, now I got to go look at it. Okay, NFL team offense.
We gotta get moving here, buddy. We only got
sack.
10 minutes till 9:30.
I know, where's sacks? Give me sacks. Sacks. Right here. Team offense allowed sacks. Miami, actually worse in the
All right,
league.
so-
Second worst in the league for sacks.
Let me go over injuries real quick. Out are Tyron Smith, Jonathan Hankins. Questionable is offensive tackle Matt Wadolowski. Offensive lineman Zach Martin is questionable. Safety Malik Hooker. And defensive end Vilmia Fehoko. And Dolphins, Robert Hunt is out. Questionable. Tyreek Hill, Austin Jackson.
Tyreek Hill is playing.
Yeah, Emmanuel Ogbah, Cam Smith, Xavier Howard, Elijah Campbell, and Javon Holland.
Javon Holland.
Javon Holland. So
All right.
that is 1, 2, 3, 4 defensive backs that are questionable for them.
That's fine. Jalen Ramsey's still playing. Jalen Ramsey's going one-on-one against CD. Now you have to get Brandon Cooks open.
And Michael Gallup.
That's what I'm saying. Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson. I start all those guys.
Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. We just said a high-scoring game. So I think obviously you're going to start Mostert. You're going to start Achane. Both those guys you have to start at this point.
Yeah.
I would recommend if you have to choose between the two, I'd take Mostert over Achane just because they might want to save Achane for playoffs. 2, Tyreek Hill, CD, have to start both of them. I think you're going to start Tony Pollard too because you probably have him in your top 5 for your running backs. So you're probably going to have to start Tony Pollard. Dak, Tua, start both of them. Both of them are going to have good production today. This is an offensive high-scoring game. You will have to play probably everybody on both offenses. Jalen Waddle. Michael Gallup is a flex 2 option. Brandon Cooks flex 1 option. And then Jake Ferguson is a possible top 10 tight end. So you can have Jake Ferguson in there. Do not start the tight end for Miami. Even though Durham Smythe may put some production on the field, it won't be a whole lot. That's it for this game for me. This is going to be a highly contentious game. Don't want to get into it too much just because everybody's going to be on one camp or the other. I'll take the offensive team in the regular season over the defensive team, and then I'll take the defensive team in the playoff. And Dallas is a bust team all the time, so I'm gonna get the last word on that before Wheels gets a chance to chime in.
Sorry.
You're good. Oh, so
Making moves on my phone.
Sunday night football.
Jeez.
Oh, I did have it up. Hold on.
That's Patriots Broncos, right?
Oh my God, this is gonna be a great game.
All right,
We're not even gonna talk about this game. Not at all.
Okay.
No stardoms in this game outside of Russell Wilson, Cortland Sutton,
Give me the Patriots. It's all
and what's their running back?
Zeke.
Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams. Do you start
I would start Javonte.
over Josh Jacobs? Questionable. Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs was supposed to be playing this week, I thought.
Do you play him though? Questionable.
I don't play Josh Jacobs just because he's going against the Chiefs defense. So that's just me.
Yeah. I picked up Roshan too.
Yeah. So now for the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson,
They're
possible
missing, like,
stardom.
half.
Demario Douglas. Is Ramondre active?
No, so here I'll just go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ramondre Stevenson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Hunter Henry, Connor McDermott,
They out?
Jabril Peppers are all out. Questionable is Matthew Slater, Trent Brown, Christian Barmore, Juwan Bentley, Anthony Jennings, Jaheel Tavi, and Jonathan Jones. Out for the Broncos is Greg Dolch and Alex
Dortch.
Dortch.
I don't know why I said Dolch.
It is Dolch.
No, it's Dortch. It's D-O-R-T-C-H.
It's D-U-L-C-I-C-H.
Dulcich. Dulcich.
Yes.
That's
We're
why.
both wrong.
Well, Dortch is the wide receiver in Arizona. My
yeah,
bad.
Greg Dortch. Nick Bettino and Alex Kowalski.
I don't know. I can't say it. I'm not even going to try now that I got yelled at. Now that I got yelled at, I'm not going to try. So here's the thing. Arizona has a habit of upsetting teams. Or not Arizona. The Patriots have a habit of upsetting teams. Bill Belichick likes to piss people off.
Give me the Patriots.
And he might not like the fact that he didn't go after Russell Wilson. So who knows? I would say I'll take the Broncos to win this game by a slight margin. I'm going to take this game 17-14.
I got 17-10 for the Patriots. All right, let's move on to the Raiders versus the Chiefs. So Raiders injuries are tight end Michael Mayer is out, questionable. Josh Jacobs, questionable. TJ Turner.
Denver's favored by 7.5, by the way.
Yeah, who cares?
I would take the points for the Patriots.
Yeah, I would too. Jesper Horsted, Colton Miller, Brandon Faxon, and Jack Jones are all questionable. Out for the Chiefs are Jerick McKinnon, that's big, McCole Hardman, and Kadarius Toney hip, and Donovan Smith. And Kadarius Toney is out because he can't catch, not because of his hip.
Sorry, you went into another game, and I completely forgot that you went into another game. Aiden O'Connell, do not start him. This is still a very good Chiefs defense.
Devontae Adams is 35 yards away from hitting another 1,000-yard season.
Well, I think you can start Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. I just don't think you start Aiden O'Connell. The sacks he's going to take and possible interception he's going to throw, it's going to be tough. And then I am starting Josh Jacobs in a league just because I have to.
Yeah.
But then the Chiefs on the other side, is Pacheco back?
No. Oh, yeah, he is back.
Okay, so Pacheco's
McKinnon's
back.
Out.
McKinnon's out. Okay, so I think Pacheco's to start him. And then it's going to be Kelsey, Mahomes. Rasheed is like a wide receiver 3. Rasheed Rice. And then I still don't like Tony. Sky Moore is no longer on the team, I think. So Sky Moore is gone.
Sky Moore's out. What happened with him?
I think he got released. Oh. There was some off-the-field issues.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Darius Toney and McCole Hardman are both out.
So it's Kadarius Toney's out?
Yeah, because he can't catch a fucking ball.
Well, he's out?
Yeah, it says out because of hip. It should say out because of hands.
Well, that
he doesn't have them.
Oh, sorry. This is why. Justin Watson is the other guy. And both those guys could be like flex 2 options.
Okay.
So that's about it right there. I think they've kind of come down to their core on their offense, and that's about it for this team. I am going to take the Chiefs in this game. As much as I like the Raiders, I don't think the Raiders can stack up against this defense.
Give me the Chiefs 31-13.
And I'm going to take the Chiefs 27-21. The over-under on this game is 40.5, so they see low scoring. And Chiefs are favored by 10.5. I'll take the Raiders by the points.
Okay.
Right? 10.5?
Yes.
That's going to be tough.
Tease that up to like 2.5 more points, get you 13.
Yeah, if you can do that, yeah, for sure.
And it brings down your value a little bit more. So
all right, New York Giants going into Philly. This is going to be the game of the week.
Give me the Giants.
Give me Philly. Come on. I am not taking this Italian dude who, by the way, is probably eating chicken parmesan on Christmas to win the game.
Giants injuries. Evan Neal out. Raheem Nunez Roches out. Questionable is running back.
By the way, if any of you are any type of ethnicity and he screws your name up, I completely apologize.
Gary Brightwell, questionable. Lawrence Kager, questionable. Dexter Lawrence, questionable. Ashawn Robinson, questionable. Out for the Eagles is Landon Dickerson, Zach Cunningham, Avante Maddox, Darius Slay, and questionable is Nicholas Morrow. Hey, I pronounced that one dude's name.
Roches?
Nunez Roches.
It's Roches. You don't cho it.
Cho.
It's Roches.
Roches. Sorry, I'm not.
I wasn't.
community.
I didn't say anything. I just said if you're ethnic, and I apologize if you messes your name up. You're not even good with the English language, let alone a Latin language, let alone a Greek language. I'm not even going to try with you. I'm not going to try.
Eat a penis.
There's a sucker over there that's shaped like one. Ryan left it here. So
Give me the Giants.
okay, what's your score if you're going to do that?
21.
The over-under on this game is 43, by the way.
24-21.
And Philly's favored by 13.5.
So they're gonna.
I think I'm taking the points.
Me the Giants.
I think
with
I'm
the
taking
points.
the points in all of these games this week.
Eddie
you know what?
Just give me the points.
I am going. This is the one that always kind of hits for me. I think I'm going to take Philly by that spread, to be honest. This
Philly
week.
does not look good for 3. They've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, but New York Giants don't have a secondary.
I mean, the Eagles might not either. They're missing.
Yeah, but I'm
two
not.
guys.
Tommy DeVito's not throwing the ball downfield. Saquon does all the running. Saquon does all the running, right? This offense runs through Saquon.
You start. Who is the rookie last year that they drafted?
Wandale Robinson.
Yeah, start running Robinson.
This offense runs through Saquon, so you can start Saquon. We don't know what the run game looks like. They need to go back to some type of read option in Philly because they have no run game right
They
now.
literally run like a high school offense.
It's bad.
That's how. I'm not dissing.
They
on
need
Eagles.
Shane
That's-
Steichen back.
They run like a high school offense in the RPO all the time.
But I am going to take Philly in this game, and Philly has. This is a prove-it game for Philly.
There's going to be one tush push.
35 to 21. Philly.
So they don't cover.
That's 14.
You said 13. Is it a point?
13.5 is the point. So
They don't cover.
35-21 is a cover. It's 14.
It's half a point.
It's 13.5. I said 14.
I'm sorry.
I have them covering the 14 point or the 13.5 point spread. You're saying it was a push, but it's 13.5. So stardoms for me, obviously AJ Brown, obviously Jalen Hurts, obviously Devonta Smith, obviously Goddard. Those are stardoms. I think you have to start those guys on Philly. Stardoms for me on the Giants side, it's Saquon. I don't know if I like anybody else. You said Wandale Robinson.
Yes.
And then Darren Waller.
I like Cody or Daniel Bellinger.
I'm taking Darren Waller over Bellinger.
No, they're gonna use. It's gonna be 2 tight end sets.
Yeah, but I'm taking Waller over Bellinger all day.
Yes.
But I think Darren Waller is a stardom at this point this week.
Let's get out of this disgusting game
And the game of the actual week, which is
if you count prime time,
which is a very great slated game. It's the tied teams in the AFC and the NFC for the first place. This is literally a Super Bowl matchup this week. The Ravens are going into San Francisco, playing San Francisco.
These teams are so similar.
They're the exact same.
The Ravens are 6-1 on the road, and the Niners are 6-2.
Yeah, they're pretty much the exact same teams, to be honest. But what are the Niners at home?
The Niners are.
They've only lost one game at home.
5-1, and the Baltimore Ravens are 5-2. So that's where they flip flop.
Yeah.
Give me.
I'm taking the Niners this week.
Niners.
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners with you this week. I think it's gonna be a tough fought battle. But when you look at weapons, right? MVP.
This is gonna be a low scoring.
If here's what I'll tell you. If Lamar wins this game,
he's MVP.
The MVP should go to Lamar because it proves that which team the quarterback came over top.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's say Brock Purdy throws for like the most yards the Ravens have allowed.
I still think Lamar rushes for more yards than the Ravens have allowed, than the 49ers have allowed.
Let's say the Niners win, and he throws for like 286 yards and 3 touchdowns and an interception.
Does he win? Niners win.
Niners win.
Oh, it's Brock Purdy.
It's MVP, right?
It's Brock Purdy, yeah. Unless CMC is half that.
Or we're going to go to, it was Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Oh, no, it's Brock Purdy. No, it's Brock Purdy.
I'm just making sure we have no caveats here.
No, there's no caveat here. But here's what I will say. Stardoms in this game, I think you have to start Zay Flowers.
Right?
No.
OBJ?
No, I'm not touching a single running back on the Ravens.
No, I'm saying OBJ. Do you start OBJ? I would.
I think you have to.
I think he's healthy.
It's Zay Flowers, OBJ, but I'm not touching Rashad Bateman. I like OBJ because of his route running. And then Isaiah Likely might be a stardom because 49ers do struggle with that.
He had a big week last week.
And then, obviously, you're going to start Lamar. I start the 49ers and the Ravens defense because, like you said, it might be a low-scoring game.
Actually, let's do injuries because it's going to hurt the Niners a little bit. I don't think you agree with it, but Ravens, Arthur Malato out. Jalen Armour Davis out. Questionable is Zay Flowers and Malik Ham. Zay Flowers should play. And then Niners, Juwan Jennings out. Ross Dwelly out. Eric Armstead out. Oren Burks out. Questionable is Elijah Mitchell and Javon Hargrave. So
Javon Hargrave. The Juwan Jennings, that hurts. That is a guy that gets sometimes here and there on third down. He will be missed on the field. He is also very good at blocking. You said
plays.
somebody else in there that it's out. That's huge.
Eric Armstead?
Eric Armstead out.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But like offensive wise, a lot of people don't realize how much blocking wide receivers help on running plays, right? It's not.
You can talk about Juwan Jennings, and I understand it.
He shows up in plays.
He's a very good blocking wide receiver.
Yeah, but he showed up on the offensive side too.
I had this conversation with Ryan a little bit. I think the entire team plays as one unit. It's one guy can stand out, but that entire team plays as a unit. And Debo is a blocking wide receiver also.
Yeah, but I'm saying the more I watch the Niners, the more I'm falling in love with Juwan Jennings.
He's a team player.
He has heart.
He's a team player.
He's not selfish
for
like
sure.
George
but
Pickens.
The whole team is not selfish. That's what I'm saying. Ayuk blocks, Debo blocks, CMC blocks.
I see what you're saying.
The whole team, Kittle blocks.
It's mentality.
Yeah, it's the whole team is playing as one unit.
I still think Juwan Jennings is going to be missed.
Which, by the way, is why this team is so good. They play as one unit. The 53-man roster, offense and defense, they complement each other
There's
constantly.
another team in Northeast Ohio that plays like that too, I feel like.
I agree. Completely agree with you.
Even with all the injuries.
Now, here's what I will tell you is that when it comes to offensive production, the 49ers are, I think, first or second offensive producing team in the league. So I think I got to give this to the offense on this one, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going up against one of the best defenses in the Ravens. I mean, obviously the Niners are up there, but the Ravens play very good on the road, as we see. They're 6-1. So, like I said, this is a very
So the
close
Niners
game.
are the second most productive offense, and the fifth is Baltimore. In points per game, it's 30.4 to 27.4. So I really got to give this because the Niners have played better defenses than the Ravens.
Give me the Niners 24-20.
Give me
it's a goofy score.
Give me the Niners 21-20.
Okay.
I don't know what the over-under is on this game, though.
Let me guess. 36 and a half.
It is 47.
What?
Yeah.
That high with both these defenses?
Here's what bothers me is the 49ers are favored by 5.5.
They should be favored by
it should be like 3.
Which is essentially a 1.5 because they're at home.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
That is.
And especially as equivalent.
That's a weird freaking. You know what? Take the Ravens and the points. The Ravens will cover. I don't think if they lose, they'll lose by a field goal, not a touchdown. So take the points. If you're going to take any type of a spread bet today, take the Ravens. I think that is a stupid line that makes no sense to me. I would gladly take the points with the Ravens. Tease that up for a 1.5 to give me 7.5 because you don't want to get a push and get screwed on a tease. So try to get like 2 points there and buy 2 points. That's a
tough line for me. That being said, give me your takeaways for today because we got to end this show.
Enjoy your family. Drive safe. Again, only bet what you can and be thankful for what you have and not for what you don't have.
All right. And as for me, my takeaway today is I hope to God the Ravens lose because I am so sick of Ravens fans, not just one, many, talking about how Brock Purdy is a product of the system. And they get to see it this week. And if Brock Purdy shows up and it is above the spread of the 5.5, it can't just be a system conversation because then that means your defense wasn't good enough to stop the system.
And the Browns were.
And if you're accepting the fact that your offense is not good enough to stop the system, just cash it in at that point. That's my takeaway for today.
So this is the MVP game.
I agree.
Okay.
MVP game and one of these two teams will probably go to the Super Bowl. All right, that being said, you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Have a wonderful holiday week ahead.
Drive safe.
Wheels will not be here next week. Will you be here Wednesday?
Yes, I will be here
All right.
Wednesday. I will not be here Friday.
So
or
Wheels will be here
Saturday.
Wednesday. We will have another guest here Friday. And then I will be doing one last show. New Year's Eve will be my last show of the year.
I'll be in chat.
Obviously. And he will be partying
Pittsburgh.
in a fun competitive city that he shouldn't be in.
Hey, the sports book there is great. I pay for 2 seats and I watch the college football games. I did last year.
But that being said, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and peace out.
Merry Christmas. Later.